So the Hillsborough River starts in the Green Swamp northeast of Tampa and kind of snakes through Hillsborough County. Once you get to Temple Terrace, it's starting to head southerly, and then it curves more toward the west, and then around Sulphur Springs area it mostly goes to the south into downtown Tampa, and also Hillsborough Bay, which is part of the Tampa Bay estuary. So here is 56th Street, which is the main north-south boulevard running through Temple Terrace. I've always wondered, since Temple Terrace is its own city, why they haven't named 56th Street something else, something unique to Temple Terrace. Instead, it's just a street number that's part of the overall City of Tampa street grid. To the right is a park, playground for Temple Terrace, and then also to the right is Temple Terrace property, which I'm not sure what they're going to do. Originally it was going to be a development as part of their downtown, but the downtown hasn't really panned out the way they originally had hoped. So this part of Temple Terrace is in their country club area. There's a lot of nice homes. The river kind of hugs this neighborhood to the south and to the east as it makes its big curve. This neighborhood has always been very nice and originally developed in the early 1900s, to my understanding. It is somewhat hilly for Florida standards. So up ahead is River Hills Elementary School, and right beside that and just south of it is River Hills Park, which is a pretty popular park right along the river. I'm just going to circle in there. There's a boat ramp. In the past, they've had art festivals here. There's a historical marker. Apparently Spanish explorers came all this way in 1757. I've seen several alligators in the water here, but the park goes beyond this circle here, and there's some open space. That's where the festival happens, and just a good place to play frisbee, kick around a soccer ball, things like that. So we're actually a little east of where that vacant land is I was talking about earlier. And to me, the ideal thing would be for the Temple Terrace city to build something like Armature Works right on the river. It just seems like a no-brainer to me. It would be a great waterfront, downtown type atmosphere, because Temple Terrace doesn't really have a downtown. For some reason, it was built in the early 1920s as a suburb, basically. So at this point, the river has made its curve, and it's more on a north-south trajectory. Off to the right is the river, and very nice homes, very expensive homes. Most of these homes were probably built in the 70s and 80s, I would think. Since this community was first developed in the early 20s, I imagine some of these lots remained empty for a while and were slowly being filled up, probably through the 50s and 60s, 70s and 80s and beyond. This road is Glen Arvin. It's one of the main roads that goes north and south through this country club area. And as you can see, here's some of the golf courses for the country club. Probably the most famous institution in Temple Terrace is Florida College. What's famous about it is that it's the site where the Reverend Billy Graham first went to Bible college. At the time, it was a different institution. It was run by a different church denomination. Nevertheless, it's the physical location where Reverend Billy Graham attended Bible college. And there is a marker off the river. It's said that he would practice preaching to the alligators on the Hillsborough River. And there's also a marker downtown Tampa at Franklin Street, which says Billy Graham began here. And I do think it's interesting that his son's name is Franklin Graham. So to the right is Florida College. A relatively small college. I do believe it's still part of a church. I'm not sure which denomination at this point, but it's still a Bible college of some kind. So at this interchange here and through the city of Temple Terrace, Bush Boulevard is actually called Bullard. And then outside of Temple Terrace on the east side, it's called Temple Terrace Highway. So again, off to the right is Florida College campus. To the left is the new or newer country clubhouse facilities. But before I go over there, I'm just going to run by the marker where it says Billy Graham was here. River's right down there, and the marker, there's a park bench off to the right, and that's where the marker is. So here we are on River Hills Drive, and more nice homes. Behind the homes on the left is part of the golf course. And on the right is riverfront property. This is the older section here. There's some older homes on the north side of Bullard Parkway. So at this point, we're heading closer to the clubhouse for the country club. In this area, they do a really nice 4th of July celebration with fireworks. There's a parade. Just kind of an old-fashioned hometown 4th of July. much concludes our tour of Temple Terrace.